I'm thinking about how I could review headphones in an unbiased way. After all, you can't try them on through this video. So I've come up with some ideas using a spectrum analyzer and a reference microphone. And so we'll take a look at that. But first, let's unbox the Audio-Technica M40Xs, and then we'll go through the tests. Let's check it out. Okay, so we'll go ahead and unbox the Audio-Technica ATH M40Xs. And it's a nice package experience. You got a lot of information on the back here. We'll just go ahead and pull this open. Inside, I can see things are well protected. We'll just pull this panel out, and looks like inside under the fold, there's the cables. No, actually, it's a pouch for this. So this is a nice pleather pouch that we have to store the headphones in. Then we have the headphones themselves, and we'll go ahead. Each of the ear cups is packed in plastic, so we'll get that off of them. And of course, it's giving a little bit of a hard time, but we got them off there. So now we have the headphones themselves. Underneath, we have a couple of cables. Also, looks like a little bit of information here, so we'll pull that out as well. Put the box to the side, and so we have the information. We have the headphones. Seem to be really well constructed. Like the solid feel of them. There's little indents as you pull them up, open. So really well put together. And the cables themselves, we have two of them here. Open the first one up. This one is just a straight cable, no coil or anything to it. Has a 3.5 millimeter on one end and a proprietary jack on the other end that locks into place. Then we'll go ahead and open up the second cable. That's a coil cable with the same connectors, except they also have pre-installed an adapter here for 1/4 inch. And that, of course, can go on either cable. So it's nice that Audio-Technica has included that. And now we'll go ahead and we'll actually test this out. So now that we've unboxed the Audio-Technica M40Xs, I want to go ahead and review them for you. And again, you can't put them on through this video, and there's not much point in me sitting here and telling you these are great, they're awesome, you've got to get them. I've never heard anything better, and they're just the most comfortable thing in the world. I'll go through some of the physical characteristics. I do think they're a very well put together headphone. So the only way I can think of to do this is to show you what they sound like. Yes, I'll let you hear it as well, but we're going to use a spectrum analyzer with a reference microphone, and we'll see exactly what kind of sound we get out of the headphones. We'll do a test with a tone generator, then we'll go ahead and listen to some music through the headphones, and then we'll take a look at spoken word as well. So if you're interested in audio, video, cameras, microphones, audio interfaces, video hardware, gaming, streaming, software, I have something on my channel for you. Think about subscribing, and if you like this video, leave a comment, smash the like button. So the first thing I'm going to do is run the headphones for about 10 hours with a variety of music playing through them just to run them in a little bit. It actually does make a difference in the sound. So I'm going to get that going, and then I'll come back and I'll do the tests. For the tests themselves, we'll be using an AKG P170 instrument microphone. This has a very flat frequency response. As you can see in the graph, it's got, of course, a little bit of roll off in the low end. But when we see this, we can take that into account when I use it to measure the sound. We'll also be going directly into a Focusrite 8i6, which is known to have a very flat frequency response. We're going to have less than a 0.5% variance across the 20 to 20,000 hertz range. So that shouldn't affect things very much. But we will use a recording through the Focusrite to compare the recordings of the headphone as well. So, I mean, we're going to have this as close as possible so you can really hear what the difference is between the original source and the headphones themselves. Of course, I'll level out the volumes, but I won't process any of the samples. Okay, so now that I've let the headphones run in overnight, we're going to go ahead with the first test. And for the first test, we'll use a tone generator. We're going to go from 20 to 20,000 hertz. So I have this running through the headphones and recording into the AKG P170, and we'll take a look at what the spectrum looks like. So now I put a comparison up on screen for the tone generator with the direct spectrum captured versus the tone generator through the Audio-Technica M40Xs recorded through the P170. And as you can see, the spectrums look very, very similar. So this is a good sign that these headphones have a very even frequency response. You can see that there is a boost up in the higher range. And again, that's indicated on the spectrum chart that is provided by Audio-Technica. So not too much of a surprise here. And we're a little bit lower at that very bottom range. And again, we can take into account the roll off that the microphone has that's recording these headphones. So all in all, a very even response, I would say, given what the file produces. And now we'll go ahead and listen to some music through these headphones and see what the spectrum looks like. And again, we'll compare it to the file itself. Now that we've heard the song played through the headphones and looked at the spectrum, on screen again, I have a comparison here of the song being directly recorded through the Focusrite 8i6 versus the song recorded through the Audio-Technica M40Xs and the P170 AKG instrument microphone, again, directly into the Focusrite 8i6. And as you can see, it's a pretty faithful reproduction through the headphones. So again, I'm quite pleased with the way these headphones have performed versus the original file. And because I know many of you are going to want to use these for listening back to spoken word, so I've gone ahead and recorded some test audio. And what we'll do is we'll compare the spectrum of the audio played through the M40Xs recorded by the P170 into the Focusrite 8i6 versus the original file recorded directly through the Focusrite 8i6. This is a spoken word test, so you can compare the sound of a direct recording with the sound coming through the headphones. This is a spoken word test, so you can compare the sound of a direct recording with the sound coming through the headphones. And so again on screen, I have a comparison of the file recorded through the M40Xs versus the original file recorded directly through the 8i6. And as you can see, it's a pretty faithful reproduction. There's a little bit of a boost coming through the M40Xs right in around that 3000 hertz. So a little bit in clarity, very, very small difference, like we're talking under 5 dB. So a remarkably flat response versus the original direct file here. Okay, and so now that we've done a test with a tone generator, a song, and spoken word through the M40Xs, I'm pretty comfortable in saying that these are tuned to be quite flat in response. So what Audio-Technica is promising here is a flat-tuned headphone is relatively flat. There is no such thing as a perfectly flat-tuned pair of headphones at any price. But this does give us a reasonable representation of what the sound would be like without added coloration from EQ. So I'm pretty pleased with them for that purpose. And, while the sound may not be exactly what everyone wants out of the box, we can always EQ it to get what we like. So if you like more treble, you like more bass, you can go ahead and add that up. But to get a faithful reproduction of sound, the M40Xs do a pretty good job here. Now what I'll do is take a look a little bit at the physical build. Like I said before, I'm not going to say these are the most comfortable or anything that way, but I will tell you what my experience is, and also, again, just kind of the physical build of the headphones. All right, so in terms of the build quality, I have to say these are really well put together. They're all metal. Very solid feel in terms of opening and closing the extensions on the headband here. And they all have little steps along the way. not sure if that picks up on the microphone, but really nice. Pivoting, the headphones pivot in one direction. They don't pivot both ways. So not 100% conforming to your head that way, but reasonable anyways. They also pivot up, and you can see we can fold these up to make them very compact for travel. So that's kind of a good use case with these headphones as well. The connector also, well, it's proprietary. I mean, it's a 2.5 from what I can tell, and it has a little locking mechanism, which, well, it means if you might need to replace this with an Audio-Technica cable. The nice thing is it's not going to pull out when you're using it. So I think all in all, that's a pretty good feature. The headphone pads themselves, they're not overly soft, but they certainly are comfortable. I don't know what they're going to be like over the long term, but of course they are replaceable. And when you purchase a set of headphones like this, you can expect to have it for a considerable period of time. So again, I think that's pretty reasonable. Now, in terms of overall comfort, for me, I find them quite comfortable. The ear cups do fit over my ears, and I don't feel any too much pressure coming on the top of my head from the headband. They seem to be not too tight, not too loose, pretty good sound isolation. And again, your experience will vary, but the quality of construction of these headphones is actually quite good. So in answer to if I would recommend these headphones, the answer is it depends. If you're looking for a set of headphones that has a fairly flat response that you're going to use perhaps for mixing and for mastering, I think they're a great choice. If you like to listen to your audio with relatively uncolored frequency response, again, I think they're a pretty good choice. Certainly for the price, the value is there. If you like something that has overemphasized bass or overemphasized treble, then probably these aren't the choice for you. But for basic mixing and mastering, I think a really good choice. And you can always EQ them if you want to have coloration of the sound. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, consider checking out some of the other videos perhaps on the screen, or subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.